Okay, you almost don't need a meteorologist to tell you this one, but bitterly cold temperatures have really been the rule for this winter weather season, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all of the ice on area waterways are completely frozen solid.
No, and the weather can cause big problems for rescue teams. So Storm Team 8 meteorologist Ellen Bacca went to find out about the challenge of rescuing other people in the water and rescuing yourself. So let's take a look.
Falls in, it's up to these men and women to get them out.
And let's talk about this rescue over here first. What do we have with this rescue over here?
This is Lieutenant Clint Holt, a local expert in ice water rescue. Today, he's teaching a class.
Just on my observations, the quality of this ice over here is much more poor than it was over here.
This is what we're training on today.
Now, this is an example of an open water rescue. The best tool for this is really a rescue sling. It's a flotation device that's attached to the tether line along with the primary rescuer as they go out. We utilize a roof ladder to kind of use that as a leverage device. We place that victim underneath the ladder and then leverage them out.
A man is out in under a minute. Today, I'm going to be that victim.
Hey, Ellen, you ready?
I'm ready.
Put up.
Okay. Put up.
Can you see?
I can see.
All right.
It takes a step, a crawl, and a slide, and I'm in. Thanks to the suit, the water feels fine.
You're gonna feel your feet come right up underneath you. That's okay. Let them go.
Today I'll be playing the role of a hypothermic victim. That means I can't help the team at all as they work to get me out of the water. It takes the team less than a minute from start to finish. But in real life, it can take a lot longer than that. That's why Holt is teaching me how to rescue myself. If you fall in, first step is try to rescue yourself.
Yep.
Get over towards the ice.
Yep.
Pout.
Yep.
Whistle. This is the part that gets a little scary.
But if you can, you want to grab your ice balls.
My belt is caught on the ice.
Try to get a knee over to
I think my suit is stuck.
Kick as I might, I can't get out of the water.
You know, it's kind of scary without the whole team here.
Finally, freedom.
And then you roll.
Yep.
You don't want to stand up because if you stand up and the ice is already compromised, then you can crash right through.
It may not be graceful, especially from this angle, but it works.
And then you roll.
Yep.
Yeah, just incredible. Ellen joining us now. This must have been truly an experience. We know that even though you're a new member of Storm Team 8, you grew up in Portage, so you have lived in West Michigan almost your entire life.
And every year people see the ice and they think, oh, it's safe, you know, every year they have problems, so it obviously isn't. So it was a good way to get the word out. And getting in the water, it was hard to get yourself back out, even though I had those ice balls and even though I had the whole team around me.
Yeah, and even if you go in, I mean, one of the things, it's not just the water that you have to think about, it's the temperature of the water, because we know that so many people don't think about how cold it is and how it can keep you from being able to move, even to rescue yourself.
They're saying on average in this weather, someone would go hypothermic, which means they can't even control their limbs in 15 minutes. Children faster than that.
15 minutes?
15 minutes.
That's what you have.
Yeah, and if you think about it, if you're in, you have to catch your breath, you have to hope someone calls 911. Someone might not.
Yeah, because maybe no one sees you.
And then rescue teams have to get to you. So even though they were getting me out of the water within a minute, I mean, they're kind of a well-trained crew here, it could take them 15 minutes to get to you. So I don't know, it's a lot of ifs and a lot of chance that you're putting on the line if you're not prepared when going out onto the ice.
Were they concerned at all about this kind of a winter weather pattern that we've had? It's been so cold for so long that really once we do start to melt, and especially on in those waterways where there's a current, how quickly we can compromise the integrity of the ice.
Oh, definitely. Their biggest mantra was no ice is safe ice. And they said that the lake ice on Lake Michigan right now, everybody thinks is really safe, especially because you see those big mounds. But it's that spot in between the mounds that's really dangerous because of a current. So in between the mounds, there's an underwater river of water. So it looks like you're on solid ice and there's more ice to go, but really, you could be on really compromised stuff there.
Right.
Yeah. So let's just think about maybe a small list. What do you need to keep in mind? Or maybe what are the things that you have when you go out? What are the things that you do before you go out? Do you make a phone call to somebody and let them know where you are? You know, we talk about that with snowmobiling and other winter activities. What are the suggestions?
Some were really obvious, no-brainers, and then some actually kind of surprised me. So the first one is life jacket. I know fishermen don't really like to wear a life jacket, but it keeps you buoyant. The second thing is bring a whistle, but make sure it doesn't have a P in it, because if you have a P in that whistle, it can freeze and then it won't work. And that whistle, of course, goes a lot louder than a shout does sometimes. And then those ice alls that I had, I would not have been able to get out if I didn't have them. They're orange, they have little spikes on them, and they really help you grip the ice. They're only $20, so that's what to bring with you.
And it didn't look easy. And you are a young person who is physically fit, and it didn't look easy, even with the right equipment.
And I didn't have the cold water shock value to add on to that either. Yeah, so just the breathing and the kicking was really difficult. I don't even know if I would have been able to do it if I had to deal with the cold water. But some of the other things, if you're worried about hypothermia, if you do fall in, these were some things that kind of surprised me. The first one, don't take off your winter clothes. You know, you hear about people taking it off because they think it'll weigh them down. Don't do that. It actually helps to insulate your body a little bit more. And then another thing that was interesting to me is don't thrash around a lot, because your body is warming some of that water around you. So if you mix it up, you're bringing cold water in and you become hypothermic faster.
Interesting.
And then the last thing, if you get out, don't pour hot water on yourself. One, burns, and then two, that can cause a heart attack. Because it causes cold blood to rush back to your heart. So there are all these things that I had no idea went on for ice water rescue, and these guys have it down pat.
And when you are rescuing someone, get flat. You don't want to. You don't want to stand up, because you will further compromise the ice and get back in. Just incredible. And did you want to say a special thank you to the people? I know that was a lot of work for them to help you.
They took such great care of us. It was the Grand Haven Public Safety crew. We had the Coast Guard, and then also our GoPro fell in. So Lakeshore Scuba went back on a frigid day and dove down and got it for us. So big thank you to them.
Wow, how about that? A new one was not in the budget for 2015, so thank you very much.
Yeah, that was a great story, Ellen. Thank you so much for showing everybody what needs to happen so they can be safe.
You bet.
Yeah. More 8 West to come. We'll be back in just a second.
This is 8 West.